Hey everyone, welcome to r/Am I the Jerk. In this episode, an unexpected visit from her in-laws leaves OP with a bad taste in her mouth and threatens to tear her marriage apart. I'm 53 and my husband, who is 56, have been married for 22 years. When we first started our relationship, he didn't have a solid job and had just immigrated from Poland, and I had a well-paying job and was doing well with my life. We never went on vacation or celebrated birthdays, but we were happy together. This is until a year ago when his parents came to visit. I have met my in-laws before, and they treated me well, bringing me and my children gifts. But this time they stayed for way too long and didn't give me good gifts, just a cheap dress, and they took a lot of jewelry with them. I felt betrayed because I have been talking with my in-laws and have been friendly with them for 4 years before the second trip. And even now, a year later, I am hurt. I think my husband should have made sure that they had a proper gift for me. This has greatly impacted our relationship and has gotten to a point where every time I get upset, I start bringing this situation up to my husband for not doing what he should have when they came over, saying that I want to move out because his face reminds me of what happened. I don't even realize I'm saying this, but I do realize that I'm still so hurt by it. I did this 2 days ago and tried to apologize 3 hours later, and he didn't accept it, saying that I can move out, or he will, along with the general, leave me alone, which surprised me. I have been thinking about this, and now I realize that there was nothing really holding the marriage together, since we never went on vacation or bought birthday gifts, and the only thing he does is make money and pay for my children's college, since I haven't worked in 19 years. I feel like I'm having to restart my life because of this after providing for the family, and now I am upset with him because he should hear me talk about things that are upsetting me however much I want to, because he should have fixed this situation in the first place. Am I the jerk for being this upset and not forgiving him? Oh boy, where do I even start? On one hand, it feels like there's a lot of details missing from this story. For one thing, how did OP go from working a well-paying job in the beginning to not working for 19 years? Also, why didn't OP and her husband celebrate each other's birthday or go on vacation? Each couple has their reasons, regardless of whether they do those things or not. But at first, OP was fine with not getting gifts on her birthday or going on vacation, so what changed? Or was this something that secretly bothered her and/or her husband, but neither of them tried to talk to the other about it? Guys, I gotta tell you that even after rereading this story a handful of times, I'm still left with way too many questions. But even so, we gotta keep it moving. Otherwise, I'll be here all day asking questions. And after thinking things over, I decided to do something a little different and give this story an overall rating of ESH, or everyone sucks here. First, there's the OP, who left a lot of details out, which makes it look like she overreacted and gets her feelings easily hurt. How she can let a supposedly cheap dress that she got from her in-laws upset her so much that it's negatively impacting her marriage a year later, to this extent, sounds crazy to me. Then there's her husband, who I think is one of the biggest variables here along with OP. She didn't go into any detail about what it's like being married to her husband, other than briefly saying they've been happy together until now. So, there's no way to know how big of a role he's played in the events leading up until his parents' visit. And speaking of his parents, while I do think they're mostly innocent, they are also somewhat at fault for what's happened too. I was curious about whether Poland had any traditions related to giving someone gifts, so I did some digging. What I found out was that in Poland it's considered a custom to bring things like flowers, alcohol, sweets, etc., depending on who the recipient is when visiting someone. There's more to it than that, but if I'm understanding things right, then it's considered normal for guests to bring somewhat pricey gifts over, which would mean OP might not have been entirely in the wrong for feeling the way she did about the dress. But that's only if the dress was actually on the cheaper side and not something she considered cheap because she expected a more expensive gift. However, that still doesn't excuse the way she's been acting towards her husband, especially not when it's been an entire year since her in-laws visited and is a constant source of friction between her and her husband. Yet OP refuses to move on from what happened, and as a result, things have gotten to the point where her husband is understandably fed up. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? Is OP blowing things out of proportion, or is she right to be upset? Let me know in the comments. And that, folks, wraps up this episode of r/Am I the Jerk. If you liked this video, then click on this next video for more unbelievable stories like this one.